is the takeover, Teofimo Lopez!
Oh, he's absolutely brilliant. His technique is flawless at times. He gets criticised for his safety-first approach at times, but he can be aggressive.
Featherweight world champion, the 2016 Olympic silver medalist from Newark, New Jersey, Shakur Stevenson!
And still, WBC lightweight champion of the world, Shakur Stevenson!
A Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez just hit the ring, and this fight highlight is the kind that makes you lose your mind. Two undefeated monsters collide with nothing to hide. Every punch carries ego, legacy, and the fear of being exposed. This isn't just action, it's pressure, control, and chaos crashing together until someone's reality breaks.
He drops the opposite hand when he shoots his right hand down to the body against a southpaw. You saw that against Sandro Martin. You saw that in the lab. There'll be opportunities.
But what unfolded here wasn't built for easy entertainment. It was closer to an audit because every second feels like someone is checking your resume while you're still trying to prove yourself. No excuses, no exits. So when chaos finally runs into someone who controls time itself, who actually breaks first?
A lot of people ain't give us the opportunity to show how great we is. A lot of the fighters, I want to say, either they ducked or found a business way not to get in front of me. And I feel like with him, he kind of gave me the opportunity of a lifetime now.
Mainly, work on your pace, you know what I'm saying? You need a fast pace, and I don't think you can keep up with us with a fast pace. I think it'll break him down.
Both men walked in undefeated, both in their prime, both at 135 pounds, where speed doesn't fade and mistakes don't get forgiven, no catch weights, tune-up, or off-night excuses hiding in the background. This was a clean test, the kind boxing saves for when it wants answers, not hype. One man was always going to walk out validated, the other was going to walk out changed, whether he accepted it or not.
You know, technically, they don't follow the system. Teo is that type of fighter. And right now, see the counter right there from Ortiz?
We always come upon that common descriptive of he's twitchy, he's dynamic.
Teofimo Lopez has always lived in disruption. That's not a phase, that's his identity. He doesn't ease into fights, he storms them. 12 knockouts at lightweight don't come from patience or waiting your turn. They come from belief. The belief that if you push hard enough, long enough, something will crack. Teofimo believes pressure solves everything. He believes chaos forces truth.
He like to work off his jab, so you handle that jab, you handle it coming forward. That's the first thing that you always want to do, man. Try to avoid injury, man, in sparring, man.
Shakur Stevenson believes the opposite. Olympic silver, world titles across divisions, a career built on restraint. He doesn't fight emotions, he fights patterns. His calm isn't a personality trait, it's a weapon, manufactured, trained, and sharpened over years of discipline. Where Teofimo feeds off noise and momentum, Shakur feeds off silence. He doesn't need to dominate exchanges. He needs to dominate decisions. That's the separation. One tries to overwhelm the moment, the other tries to own time itself. Both approaches worked flawlessly until they collided, and that's why this fight was unavoidable. Eventually, the sport stops clapping and starts asking questions, and when it does, you don't get to answer with excitement, you answer with substance.
You build your career up all this time, oh, I want to fight this guy, I want to fight this guy, I want to fight this guy, and then the moment comes and it's like, damn, it's here. Like, it kind of like turn you up, like, okay, let's go get it now. Like,
he got it.
I won my first world title at 22, and it's like I don't get what I've earned.
Every father wants his son to be the best, you know? I think that we should have moved up to 140 after that.
There were no escape routes here, no business maneuvering. The lightweight division closed in on them. Too much shared history, too many unanswered questions hanging in the air. Ducking wasn't an option anymore because the story stopped making sense. This fight only happens when the sport demands honesty, and honesty is unforgiving.
He's a three-weight world champion who is desperate to be a household name. And this platform...
Even the walk to the ring gave it away. Shakur moved like a man who already knew the pace of the fight. No wasted steps, no emotional spikes. His face didn't change. That kind of stillness isn't calm, it's a warning. Teofimo, meanwhile, was buzzing, feeding off the crowd, soaking in the noise, bouncing with intent. That energy is real. It's powerful, but it's also dangerous, because the same fire that fuels you early can burn you out when the night starts asking hard questions.
It's early right now in the fight. However, he's trying to close the distance to Ortiz.
Tries to do so with the right hand behind that jab.
Good jab from Ortiz.
Ortiz doubles up that jab.
Round 1 starts exactly how people expected Teofimo Lopez to start. Fast, loud, sharp, like he's trying to remind everyone why he's dangerous before anyone forgets. He's popping in and out, twitchy, explosive, throwing punches that make the crowd jump even when they don't land. And that's the key part. They don't land the way he wants. It's like swinging at a moving shadow and realizing the shadow is always half a step ahead of you. Here's the part people don't talk about enough. Missed punches are expensive. Every big swing that hits air drains you a little, even if you don't feel it right away. Teofimo is burning fuel early, trying to make something happen. Shakur is doing the opposite. He's not adding risk, he's removing options. By the end of round 1, nothing dramatic has happened, but something important has. Teofimo has spent more than he planned. Shakur hasn't.
I'm gonna put my back against this neutral corner. You come on in, and Ortiz does. Ortiz says, I will. And he digs to the body. Goes with a right hand, a short right hand.
And round 2 is where things start to feel uncomfortable. Teofimo still has speed, still has power, still looks dangerous, but the fight isn't loud anymore. It's tight. Shakur stops reacting and starts orchestrating. That's the shift. He's not just avoiding punches now, he's inviting specific ones, drawing shots he already knows how to escape, letting Teofimo think he's found something, then taking it away immediately. And that's exhausting in a way running never is. This isn't physical fatigue yet, this is mental fatigue. The kind where your brain starts working overtime because nothing is lining up. Teofimo's punches are a fraction late. His feet hesitate just a beat longer than before. Not enough for casual viewers to scream, but enough for an elite boxer to smell it.
I wasn't ready before, but I'm fine being the villain.
Well, that explains it right there on the back of his trunks. Twitterson.
Twitterson instead of Stevenson.
He's riding with it.
On the back of his trunks.
He's riding with it.
Listen to the corners and you can hear the difference. One side is calm, measured, almost boring. The other is louder, faster, and more urgent. Instructions start piling up. Do this, do that, move your head, pick it up. That contrast matters. It tells you who feels in control and who feels the clock ticking. Somewhere in this round, the fight quietly stops being competitive and starts becoming structured. And structure always favors the man who built his career living inside it.
A little bit of separation. And a straight jab to split the guard. Goes underneath to the body with the left hand.
Maybe round 3 tightens the screws. Teofimo is still trying to assert himself, but now frustration is sneaking in. Not the obvious kind, the subtle kind, the kind that shows up as tiny mistakes, overreaching by inches, throwing a punch half a second earlier than he should, resetting just a little too slow. These aren't highlight reel errors. These are the mistakes that only show up when your confidence starts leaking out. Shakur sees all of it. He's drawing punches like a chess player setting traps 3 moves ahead. Teofimo throws, Shakur slips, counters lightly, and disappears again. Over and over. There's nothing more mentally draining than never being able to set your feet. Never being able to say, okay, now I've got him. Every time Teofimo thinks he's found rhythm, Shakur breaks it immediately. This is where fights are lost before anyone hits the canvas. Confidence doesn't shatter all at once. It erodes. You start asking yourself questions mid-round. Why can't I line him up? Why does he always know where I'm going? Those questions steal focus. Focus steals timing. Timing steals power. It's a chain reaction, and Shakur is pulling the first link calmly.
Well, they had some very succinct advice from him. You're not going to win on points. Forget about everything. Forget about technique. Go with your heart.
He has shown plenty. Straight left hand from Shakur splitting the guard.
By the time the breaking point arrives, it doesn't feel sudden. It feels overdue. Teofimo starts hunting. You can sense it. He's looking for the punch, the one moment that flips everything back his way. That search makes him dangerous, but it also makes him readable. Urgency has patterns, and Shakur is patient enough to wait for them. This stretch of the fight explains everything: why ring IQ matters, why discipline outlasts explosion, why fights are often decided long before the final blow. Teofimo didn't lose because he wasn't talented. He lost because chaos eventually runs into someone who refuses to panic, and when that happens, chaos doesn't look wild anymore. It looks predictable. By the time the championship rounds roll around, the fight has a very different feel. Teofimo is still trying. That part never disappears. The intent is there, the heart is there, but the snap is gone. Punches don't arrive with the same violence. Movements look heavier, not slow, just taxed. Meanwhile, Shakur looks like he could comfortably do this for another 12 rounds if someone asked him nicely. Same posture, same breathing, same calm eyes. Mentally untouched, physically unchanged. That contrast tells you everything.
I'm determined. It's a difference. I'm determined. No motivation.
At this point, the outcome feels inevitable. Not dramatic, but inevitable. Whether it ends on the cards or gets waved off late, the story has already been written. Teofimo is fighting the clock, the distance, and his own frustration. Shakur is fighting nothing. The other is managing. That's not competitive anymore. That's confirmation.
I always tell my son we gotta take the biggest challenges because we gotta find out.
After the bell, the noise comes back, but the confusion doesn't. The breakdowns are almost unanimous. Max Kellerman doesn't frame it as opinion. He frames it as truth being revealed. Roy Jones Jr. talks about footwork and distance like they're non-negotiables, not preferences. Shane Mosley points out the tempo manipulation, how Shakur controlled rhythm, the way conductors control orchestras. Nobody's arguing, nobody's debating. This isn't a bad style matchup. This is a style cancellation. One approach quietly erased the other, and that's the lesson younger fighters can't afford to miss. This night belongs to Shakur Stevenson. Not because he yelled the loudest or chased knockouts, because he earned it. Pound for pound conversations stop being promotional after fights like this. They become unavoidable. Superstardom doesn't always come from spectacle. Sometimes it comes from order, from making something incredibly difficult look boring in the best way possible.